calling ambulo luku. With whatever we do, you need safu no love. Do hale demu new school. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Nyepangi ragala gena. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Ibulo kenda.
Mingi Congo.
Lamin.
Na?
Lamin to jibe norin te nyame Lamin.
Kama na ulo kono.
Gulo kono ni. Ngata. Ngoto le. Fabrama.
Mingi. Baba nyole.
Ngoto le Fabrama.
Na mu jumala kan kuma ni ten.
Fabrama. Ndele ba.
Lunda mana.
Mo kata.
Ala munekela.
Lamin, ite foi de malon kon lesinol be ke kar radio.
Nga fine.
E ko nyana ni mo Lamin.
Nga fine.
Ya muna fonye.
Bir kabin mina kan ntambita nteri maning Fatu.
Ha.
Ntambita la sukar ala diningol bebe siri be la moyka.
Ah faru danso am fanan tambira jele ni subala ngaje diningol be jet talanta nen kili warol. E be serin jelen.
Sa Lamin fadante ku kilingo ke no la ba Lamin bitaka wulo ko no nyinta mo Lamin.
Amanda fenela.
Ite dine ko ni man si yakari lesinol la moy radio te balon na.
Muneka ke afonye ma nyara ni alon.
Telentel jikot.
Afonye ma munebe ke.
Ite balontel be jikritel. Ni man karambe ku kele. Yaje nata ya
nyarande kombo kuran ho findira kombo ite na yede ni sonka bay ko Lamin ma nyata la wulo ko kara mo be so da afonye membe ko
ngoto wole nati bayo ngalle ni Lamin kuntal kombo kuran o ka fa me kombo kuran asototal wala kinay ko e sisu ko no bari ni ko e sisu ko ngol dike la radio lin telel to hani tele masoto to nyaay man tele soto da bongo bar radio be bulen koto batiri sa ya labo
sa do kala nyaadi
ko ta ro bulaji
abe kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abe wala mo la be
karandirol kala jele
ti talle be radio ko men ka karande
ila subjectoro baby jele i baby jele
wala nan ka coco moy fa dan so wolya ngombe tambi kan ngadi ningol de be ikadum bungo de ko kada marmo
asototal de
Lamin mala be kara wala de
bari lafta ideal on go in the every year second wala fourth
muna ni ko dia
ni lamba ndele sinlo ne ba
okay ngoto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat ñu fadam bulata ko ko me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ndel be jiko be nyineka ya bulay kara wulo kono ta kilar ya bambalo yo be bulay ko si ayala le sino la moy radio
wara ga munda karamo man soro Lamin nyanta kara si so na radio
la sila le ayala le sino
ndale ko korno ko smolo
kilar ya
be ngala ko momo sa imbi do ni fono kera
mengi bruzo
ndale ko la da ba rosa no radio ba no bari woro radio ni abe jele ba do ngamra do man nembe buljan dala nyara nyar ro ko fendi mo la Lamin tayra ba rosa
lo ajibe nori nya Lamin tamete ku
teku
bari ko do famo ke
ja image nañu ñambol si zol le keje kisigi man si zol no le kafun ka ñomal bari ñambu kino li mañana ka finde ni nambe ko do zol la ga
ngalle limbe tade be ñambo do dilanna
ñara nim ko ritin fennat ñara nata
ko to bari
ngata bungono Jalan gando ko fele ko ke baru ngana ni pelo landi jak
iyo awa betar la
ko bismillah bisu diara
ye fongo tanka sina dolu tanka koro ta koro
Hello viewers and listeners, I am Abdullah J.S. Job, once again on Science LBS, Lesson 5. Our topic is going to be problems that affect our natural resources. Problems that affect our natural resources. This is today that affect our natural resources. But before we go on to the lesson, I want to remind you that you owe me an assignment. You owe me an assignment when we last met. And today, I want us to look at the corrections before we go to the lesson proper. Quickly, it says, give 2 examples for each of the following. That is, A, primary consumers, B, secondary consumers, and C, users. You are to give 2 examples of each. Now let's compare our answers. Primary you can have a goat, you can have sheep, you can have camel, you can have a horse, etc. All these, any of these 2 that you bring is correct. Secondary consumers could also in a man, that's human being. It can be tiger, any of these. It can also be eagle, right? So you name them. So most of all the animals are a second order consumer. Then producer, these are the plants. They can be grass, trees. You can name the type of grasses, 2 of them, or you name the trees, mango tree, orange tree, popo, guava, etc. Any tree. So any 2, that's your answer. You can say grass and trees. You can specifically say mango tree and orange tree. Right. Number 2. The numbering has a problem here. Name the 3 categories of consumers. Name the 3 categories of consumers. 3 categories of consumers. The first category is herbivore. Herbivores. Then the second one is carnivores. Third one is omnivores. The herbivores, these are the animals that feed on grass or, while the carnivores, these are the animals that feed on meat only. And the omnivores, animals that feed on both grass or both plants and meat. Then the third question is, state the category where the butterfly belongs to. State the category of the butterfly. The butterfly is an insect that feeds on plants only, so therefore the butterfly is a herbivore. Therefore the butterfly is a herbivore. So the answer for butterfly, or the category belongs to, is a herbivore. You can compare your answers with what I have on the board and mark your book. Good. Now we can go to the lesson proper. Our lesson proper, the topic is problems that affect natural resources. We all know what problems are. Problems are things that do not go on the right thing or the right way. When we say natural resources, these are the these are the things that are made by the Almighty Allah. They are things that are made by the Almighty Allah. It says long ago, there were many trees and animals in our bush or environment. The land was very fertile and food crops in abundance. Today, we have few trees and animals in our environment. What do you think are the causes of these problems? This is what we are going to look at. We said long ago there were a lot of trees, lot of plants and animals in our environment. But today we have very few of them. What is responsible? The cause is man. Man is responsible for losing our animals and our trees. We are responsible for losing our trees. The first among them, the disappearance of trees. The disappearance of trees is what we are going to look at. There were many, we have few. Why do our plants disappear? I said man is responsible. Let's look at the activities of many of us. We cutting down trees. Cutting down these trees every day. For what? For making timber. Not only for timber, but for making firewood. Not only firewood alone, but all these are going on in our forest every day. Down these trees, making timber for our furniture, firewood, and charcoal. So, these are some of the things that cause these trees to disappear. Another one is bad agricultural practice. Bad agricultural practice. When I say bad agricultural practice here, I mean there are a number of farmers here. They clear the land, they clear the forest here. Farmers having more than 5-6 farms. This year they plant here, farm A. The next year they will cut down trees to extend the farm to farm B. The following year again they cut down trees around the farm B to extend it to farm C. This is activities that are going on to forest, and that is making us to lose of these trees. These are some of the activities that can lead to the disappearance of trees. And the cutting down, the action of cutting down these trees, or burning these trees without replacing them. Without replacing them is what we call deforestation. It's what we call deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees without replacing them. Remember, these trees have been there for a quite long time. Some trees are as old as more than 25 years. And if you need those trees to make a timber now, you cut them down. How long will it take us to have that tree or that size of tree to be replaced? It's going to take another 25 years or more. So this is why we are losing our forest. Also used to say, if you fell down one tree, plant two. You cut down one tree, plant two. But you cut down a tree, you don't plant any. At the end of the day, what is going to happen? we are going to lose our forest. And if losing our forest is one effect that is linked to another, of which we are going to look at later. The next one is disappearance of wild animals. Disappearance of wild animals. Our wild animals are the wild animals are also disappearing. When we say wild animals, many wild animals here. There were hyenas, there were wolves, there were lions, tigers, zebras, you name them. But today we hardly see any of this in our forest. Why? Because of the action of man that we are doing in our forest. That's why we have our animals. This disappearance of these trees is now linked to the wildlife. Because why? These wild animals, the forest is the habitat of those animals. The forest is the habitat of animals. If you cut down those animals, what do you think? They will disappear. One of the cause of their disappearance is we have destroyed their homes. Man their homes. The second one is also hunting. Hunting. Unselective hunting. Unselective hunting has also caused these wild animals to run away. We don't select the type of animals that we hunt. You have people who have guns going around after these animals. Whatever type of animal they meet, they come across, they kill them. So many of them were killed and the rest have to run away because they don't even have homes anymore where they can hide themselves. So that's why they also have to leave us. So these are some of the activities that also caused the disappearance of wild animals. We say the disappearance of trees. Trees are destroyed by felling and bush burning. Yes. If one tree is destroyed, it takes many years for another to grow in its place. Too much bush burning and cutting down trees without replacing them leads to the disappearance of the forest. Of course. And this is called deforestation. B. Disappearance of wild animals. Hunting of wild animals has greatly reduced their numbers. But the main cause of their disappearance in the Gambia is their habitats. Is the destruction of their habitats. That is their home. The next one is soil erosion. Another effect is causing us natural resources is soil erosion. Loss of soil fertility is caused by deforestation erosion. You can see the cutting down of those trees, the cutting down of those trees, the burning down of those trees without replacing them is still going on. It's leading us to another factor. It is saying it is the deforestation is the cause of the soil erosion. The destruction of forest leaves the land bare and the topsoil gets loose. By our forest, trees are cut down, trees are burned down. What do we have? We are going to leave the land bare. And when the land is bare, the topsoil on the land will get loose. And when the topsoil gets loose, what is going to happen is it is now exposed to wind or runoff water. Now that loose soil will now be exposed to wind or runoff water. In countries where you have that is going to wash them, but we don't have ice here. So in the Gambia here, when the land when the trees is all been destroyed, the topsoil will get loose. And once topsoil get loose, it is now going to be exposed to wind and run of water. And what is going to happen? When the wind blows, it's going to carry the loose soil. When run of water also comes in, it is going to carry the topsoil. And that topsoil that it is carrying, the topsoil that it is carrying is the most important part to crops. This topsoil contains humus. And this humus is where you have many of these minerals that the plants need. Many of the nutrients that the plants need. If this topsoil that is there has been washed with all these nutrients, it's going to be taken away to a place where it is not wanted. For example, run of water. The run of water is flowing from a top level to a down level. Maybe to a river, maybe to a creek, where it is no more wanted. It is not wanted. So now the fertile topsoil now is being washed away by the run of water. The wind also is going to wash away the topsoil, take it to somewhere it is not wanted. Maybe we cannot make agriculture there. When the topsoil is removed, we said, the land becomes less fertile because of the topsoil was the most fertile part of the land. It contains what? It contains air, it contains water and minerals. Topsoil contains this. There is air in the topsoil, there is water in the topsoil, there is minerals in the topsoil, of which plants is going to help plants to grow strong and healthy. This is what is going to help the plants grow strong and healthy. When they are no more on the farm, whatever we grow there may not do well. Whatever we may grow there, it may not do well. Plants need all these to grow strong and healthy. Like I said, the plants, they need what? They need air. They need water. Right? And what? They need minerals, which is all found in the topsoil. If this is washed away, which is supposed to make the plants strong and healthy, like I said, then if this is all been washed away, then the plants will not have good health. Right? Plants need all this to grow strong. Like I said, when soil erosion happens, nothing can grow in the soil. As a result, what is going to happen? The land becomes desert. The land will become desert. This is another effect. Now this desert also will come in. If the land is bare, it will not produce, it's not going to give us healthy and strong plants. And what is going to happen? There will be a desert. And when there is desert, farming becomes very difficult. Farming will become very difficult. Deserts are areas where you have very little or no rainfall. Deserts are places where you have very little or no rainfall. And if that happens, farming is going to be very difficult. Why we started? Plants are very important. To avoid this desert, we can help ourselves by growing many plants. These plants you are seeing, they transpire, they give out oxygen. The leaves of plants give oxygen and water. We said the leaves of plants give out oxygen and water. Now they release oxygen and water. This oxygen that they release get into the air of which animals will feed on. This is what we call transpiration, the loss of water or the release of water from the leaves of plants is what we call transpiration. And this transpiration into the oxygen, into the air, and clouds, to form clouds. Now, if these trees are cut down, this transpiration will not take place. How do you know what transpiration is going on? Just approach a forest during the day. When you approach a forest during the day, you will see smoke-like structure coming up. At times, you will think that there is a burning around the forest that you are smoke-like structure going up. That smoke-like structure going up is the water that the leaves that is escaping from the leaves. Is the water that the leaves releases into the atmosphere. And these leaves, this transpiration now will get into high up, and they are the ones that are going to fall what we call clouds. They will come clouds. Come back as what? Come back as rainfall. Now, rainfall, if there is not enough transpiration, there will be little clouds. And if there are little clouds, what is going to happen? Little rainfall. There is little rainfall within a particular rainy season. What is going to happen? We are going to have a failed season. We are going to have a failed season. Because when we have a failed season, there will be no that will do well. And all this will be cutting down of trees. So we be careful with our natural resources, particularly the plants and animals that we have around us. Right? Now we have an exercise here that we are going to look at together, and number one, say state differences between the Gambia's past and present environments. Okay? State between the Gambia's past and present environment. Gambia's past and present environment, in the past we said there were many animals. Also, there were many trees. Good. Today, that's present, we have few animals. We have few trees. Past, we had many trees. But today, that is the present situation in the Gambian environment, is we have very few and very few trees. The number two is asking what is meant by deforestation. What is meant by deforestation? Deforestation is the cutting down or burning down of trees without down or burning down of trees, the cutting down or burning down of trees without replacing them. Without replacing them. The cutting down or burning down of the trees without replacing them, what we call deforestation. So if you are asked what does deforestation mean, then it means the cutting down, replacing them. We mean deforestation. Number three, what is soil erosion? What is soil erosion? What is soil erosion? From our explanation, we have learned that soil erosion is the worsening of the topsoil washing away by either wind or runoff or leaving the land bare and infertile. This is what we call erosion. Erosion is the washing away of the top, either wind or runoff water, leaving the land bare and infertile. So when the land is removed, the topsoil is removed, and is loose, the topsoil is going to lose. Finally, it will be washed away by the wind or runoff water, which is going to leave the land bare and infertile. A bare and infertile land cannot help plants grow well. Good. These are your corrections for your exercise. Then assignment for you to do before we meet once again. That is, number 1, name 2 activities that cause problems to our natural resources. Name 2 activities that cause problems to our natural resources. Number 2, the cutting down of trees without replacement is called dash dash. The cutting down of trees without replacing them is called dash dash. Answer these 2 questions before we meet once again. On that note, I say thank you to all of you. Remember COVID-19 and remember the WHO advice, that is, wash your hands with soap, until we meet once again. Thank you very much.